Hello and welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Ayşe Süberker. The third Turkiye-Africa Partnership Summit wrapped up in Istanbul last week. Organizers say it aimed to create an enhanced partnership for common development and prosperity in areas ranging from security to healthcare, agriculture, and education. Hadia Al-Alawi sent us this report from the summit.
From defense and trade to health and diplomacy, the partnership between Turkey and African countries has been strengthening since they held their first summit in 2008. 16 African presidents and more than 100 ministers attended the third summit in Istanbul at the weekend.
The summit, which is hosted by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, aims to enhance economic cooperation. In 2020, the total trade volume between Turkey and African countries exceeded $25 billion. Up from $5 billion in 2003.
But the summit aims to achieve more than building economic partnerships. Countries adopted a joint action plan for the next 5 years that sets out new projects and areas of cooperation.
Bugünkü zirveyle Türkiye-Afrika ilişkilerini yeni ve daha ileri bir seviyeye taşıyoruz. Birlikte kalkınma ve refah için güçlendirilmiş ortaklık temasıyla düzenlediğimiz zirvemizde kabul ettiğimiz bildiri ve ortak eylem planıyla ilişkilerimizi daha da derinleştirecek bir yol haritası üzerinde mutabık kaldık.
Erdogan met with representatives of many African countries, including Algeria, Somalia and the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
A fait un pas de géant dans les investissements en Afrique. Il n'y a pas en ce moment beaucoup de pays africains qui ne connaissent pas.
Turkey's presence in Africa has grown rapidly since Erdogan took office. He's visited more African countries than any African leader. In October, he toured Angola, Nigeria and Togo. Erdogan believes more aid is needed to help African countries fight the pandemic.
Afrika nüfusunun yalnızca %6'sına Covid-19 aşısı tatbik edilebilmesi insanlık adına yüz kızartıcıdır. Bu sorunun çözümüne katkı sağlamak amacıyla imkanlarımız nispetinde önümüzdeki dönemde 15 milyon doz aşıyı paylaşmayı planlıyoruz.
The African Union declared Turkey a strategic partner in 2008. Ankara has undertaken more than 1,600 projects in Africa, and the total value of Turkish direct investment in the continent totals $6 billion. A number of African countries are also looking to buy military equipment from Turkey. Erdogan has often stressed that Turkey's approach in its relations with the continent is based on an equal partnership and the win-win principle, something the summit made sure it delivers. Hadia Al-Alawi, Straight Talk.
And to broaden the discussion, I'm joined now from Istanbul by Federico Donelli, a researcher in international relations at the University of Genoa. And in Cape Town is Fatma Yildiz, a PhD candidate in the African Studies Department at the University of Cape Town. A warm welcome to you both. It's good to have you on the program. Federico, what was the significance of the third Turkiye-Africa summit, which came shortly after the cancellation of the EU and African leaders summit set for this early December in Spain?
Yeah, from the symbolic point of view, it's a very important one because, as you mentioned, EU and African summit was delayed just a couple of days before the beginning in Las Palmas. So the fact that Turkey decided to hosted so many African leaders in some way, of course, from the symbolic point of view, is a kind of open the door to African people in a very tough period due to the pandemic crisis. Yeah. So in this way, we can say that Turkey marked a shift from European policy.
So Fatma, what was your take on the third Turkey-Africa summit? What was achieved?
Actually, Turkey-Africa partnership summits have been playing a significant role in maintaining Turkey's Africa partnership policy. As you know, the Turkey hosted 16 heads of state, 26 foreign ministers, and 102 ministers. Cooperation between Africa and Turkey is based on development together, winning together, and walking into the future together.
Yeah, so Federico, as you've just underlined its symbolic importance, what's in reality? President Erdogan said that Turkey and African leaders have agreed on a roadmap to deepen their relations, enhance cooperation. How is going to play out?
Yeah, we can say that the summit paved the way to the next stage of Turkey and Africa relation. And if we consider also the other summit, we have seen how the first one was the opening in terms of diplomacy and economy, the second one in terms of political issue, and the third one probably will be more related to the security and defense sector on one end, and on the other end to the governance, the global governance, and the idea to starting to change in some way the international governance.
So, Fatma, how do you see this partnership moving forward, and what are the possible setbacks or challenges that lie ahead?
Okay. Actually, I can say that Turkey, as you know, is against injustice in global system. African countries, especially some countries, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Senegal, advocate the representation of African countries at the UN.
Yes.
In this context, I consider that with the result of this summit, especially with the result of this summit, African countries and Turkey will act together in the global system, and their voices will be heard better.
Mm-hmm. So, Federico, what industries will be fueling growing trade ties between Turkey and Africa? I mean, what specific sectors are Turkish businesses investing in Ankara? We know that there are many, we know that there are many energy-related deals, but, I mean, what else do they cover?
Yeah, of course, if we consider the economic sector, we have to consider also agricultural companies and manufacturing companies that invested a lot in Africa. At the same time, the most important things related to the last summit is, of course, the defense sector. So Turkey has these new assets in its economy that are military hardware. Of course, anybody is talking about the drones, but Turkey does not produce only drones, also other different kind of stuff. So I think that this will be the next important sector in a business relationship with Africa.
Yeah, so Fatma, what makes Turkey's relationship with Africa different to that of China or the West?
Okay. In fact, Turkey has proved to be a reliable partner of Africa, and African countries now see Turkey as an alternative power because Turkey doesn't have any colonial history and mentality.
Yes, but do you believe that Turkish people, for example, understand Africa's importance, Africa's rich culture? I mean, what should be done to create interest among the public?
Yes, absolutely, because nowadays we can assess in terms of cultural activity because the scholarship program for African students, many African students now have been living in Turkey, and that's why the Turkish people and African students especially, they contact each other and they know each other. And that's why African, especially the Turkish people, now realize that Africa is a rich continent and is the most populous continent in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, I can say that.
So, Federico, what are the potential spoilers to this partnership? How do you think former colonial powers are viewing Turkey's flourishing relationship with the African countries? What's at stake for them? I mean, do their interests overlap or contradict one another?
I think that everything is related to the perception. If there is any growing perception of threat related to the Turkish policy, of course, there will be also some kind of competition field. But if they perceive Turkey as a potential security provider and stability provider for some regions in Africa, they could also cooperate in some very sensitive crises of the African continent. Of course, different is the discourse related to another emerging power on the African continent, that is Russia. And probably Turkey will compete more with Russia in some scenarios.
So I'm just going to ask this again. So where does the defense sector stand in this partnership? I mean, is Turkey likely to leapfrog Russia as top weapons seller in Africa, or it's a far-fetched goal?
Yeah, I think that the rate of weapon and sell weapon is still low for Turkey, but the potential market, the potentiality of the market, of the African market, are very high. So probably Turkey will be able to fill this vacuum thanks to some goods that are more, we can say, with European quality, but at
cheaper,
the Asian price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Fatma, what kind of a role Turkey has been playing in Africa during the COVID-19 pandemic? We know that the Turkish president said Turkey is to dispense 15 million Turkiye-Vac vaccine doses when it's ready. What has Turkey been doing there, and was it enough?
Okay. Actually, during COVID pandemic, before the COVID pandemic, Turkey built hospitals in Somalia, Sudan, and Libya to serve thousands of Africans who are not able to access healthcare due to ongoing conflicts and the COVID pandemic. Turkish Coordination and Cooperation Agency, Turkish Health Ministry provided the hospitals with specialized personnel and financial support, equipment and supplies. For example, Turkish hospital in Sudan has been serving Sudanese and people coming from the countries such as Cameroon, Chad, and Gambia. And Turkey, during the pandemic, for example, Turkey provided personal protection gear, medical hand sanitizer, face shields for South Africa. And you told me before, with the decision taken at the third summit, Turkey, together with the Turkish state organization, will send 2.5 million doses of vaccine to Africa.
Yes. So, Federico, lastly, could you talk to us about the sentiments over Turkey in Africa? I mean, do you have any suggestions on how to overcome cultural, socio-economic, and religious differences between the two?
Yeah, the relationship between African countries, and to better say African people and Turkish people, are based especially on people-to-people relation. That means that the knowledge of each other is a very important trait of this kind of relationship. So if we have to consider a weak point among these relationships, we have to consider the lack of knowledge, especially among Turkish people on one end, and on the other end, there's still some lack of trust in Turkey from the perspective of some African people. The best way to build this kind of trust is to show concretely the benefit of the partnership between the two.
All right, Federico and Fatma, unfortunately, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining us on Straight Talk.
Thank you.